Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
I'm going to start working on the joinery next for the headboard and the footboard. And to make all the mortises into posts, I'm going to use my plunge router. And I'm going to split those mortises into two so that I don't end up with a really wide tenon, which is not a good idea. I need to make a groove next in between the top and bottom rail and the headboard for the panel to go into. And I switched out my mortising bit for a 1/4 inch spiral bit, and I don't need to adjust my fence on my router because it's already set, and this way I'll keep the slot for the panel exactly lined up with the slots for the mortises. For this project, I'm going to use floating tenons, and that means I need to make end grain mortises in all my rails. And to accomplish that, I'm going to use my horizontal mortiser. Now that I have all the end grain mortises out of the way, I need to turn my attention to the loose tenon stock. And for that, I'm going to use a piece of mahogany that was a cutoff from another part. At the planer, I took my loose tenon stock almost to the thickness that I need, which is a 1/2 inch, and I'll take it the rest of the way using the drum sander. Because my mortises for the joinery have rounded ends, I need to round over all the edges of my loose tenon stock before I cut them to length. There's still one more piece in the headboard that needs joinery, and that's the center panel divider. And I'm going to put end grain mortises in that next for the floating tenon. I also need to make those same double mortises on the top and bottom rail to receive the stile, and I'll do that next. Now I need to make the grooves in the upper and lower rail and the headboard to receive the panel. And to do that, I'm going to use a stacked dado set at the table saw. I need to start working on the panels next, and for that I'm going to use some 5/4 mahogany that I'm going to resaw right down the middle, and I'm going to make a book match for each panel. Before I take these boards over to the bandsaw, I edge jointed one side to get it nice and flat, and I'll just rip it to rough width. There's one more thing I like to do before I resaw a board at the bandsaw, and that's get one face nice and flat, and I'll do that at the joiner. But to make sure I get the entire surface of this face flat, I'm going to mark it with a pencil. The board was a little too wide for my joiner, and it overhung the side of the joiner by a little bit. And this little section, this little strip that I couldn't get at the joiner, I'm going to get with a hand plane. I let all my panel halves rest overnight. Now I'm just going to flatten one face of the joiner and then plane them to thickness. Usually when I show this method of overhanging the joiner and following it up with a hand plane, somebody always asks, well, why don't I use some type of planer sled? And to that I say, where's the fun in that? I mean, any chance I can get to use one of my hand planes, I'm going to take it. I mean, within reason. I'm not going to not use my joiner at all and just use hand planes, but you know, it's just a little strip. It doesn't take that long. I have the panels out of the clamps and I scraped off most of the glue with a card scraper. I'm just going to pass them through the drum sander a few times. I'm going to stop part 2 here, and the next time I should finish the panels by cutting them to their final dimension, and I'll wrap it all the way around the perimeter of the panel so that I can fit this 1/2 inch thick panel into a 1/4 inch groove. And I need to shape the top rail of the headboard, and hopefully I'll have it all glued together. So I hope you like this part of the bed build, and I hope you come back for part 3. Thanks for watching, guys.